G'day guys, welcome back. We are back in something totally different to what I normally do. I normally do games, but we're going to do a reaction. We're going to do a reaction from a foreigner to a Filipino who's helping a foreigner. Now, this is something personal to me because I live in the Philippines. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm wearing this. It's in between classes. I live in the Philippines, I teach English in the Philippines, and I've been coming here for 25 years. So I'm going to watch this guy. Um, I forget. I'll put down in the link about where this guy is and his channel and everything like that. But anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts to the true Filipino and about how wonderful this country is and how wonderful the people are and the reason why I love it so much. But anyway, like and subscribe. So let's listen in.
What's up, guys? So, since moving to the Philippines, I am
So he's
frequently
American.
reminded of the importance of keeping your perspective in check and having gratitude, because when you spend enough time here, you will witness struggles and perseverance that far surpasses what we're used to seeing back home. And as a foreigner, most of us are here in the Philippines living the good life with very few struggles. So when I heard about these two guys that are in the video today and I heard about what was going on, I was kind of blown away. This is a story about a poor Filipino man named Edwin, who is a single father of three, struggling to put his kids through college, and a Polish guy named Chris, who had been living in the Philippines, living the good life, and due to different circumstances ended up hitting rock bottom, losing everything. And
Alright, so the different circumstances means that he thought a dream. He came to the Philippines. The dream didn't work out. He got sucked of all of his money. And then he had from what I can see, uh, not a mental issue, but a health issue. And now this guy, all right, so we in the Philippines you'd say pokey, all right, so some dude just picked him up and took him home, and this happens all the time in the Philippines, where Filipino, and just the Philippine people are so generous, and they do this. We would never do this in the West. You'd never have that. The Filipino people are so generous. But anyway, let's keep going.
unfortunately, his health as he developed dementia and ended up on the street. The story is about struggle, it's about doing whatever it takes, and it's also about having a big heart, because what Edwin is doing for Chris is something that no one else was willing to do. He doesn't have much, but he's making it work for barely any compensation because he didn't have it in his heart to see his new friend back on the street again. Let's get to the story. What's up, Edwin? How you doing? All right, guys, I just made it to Edwin's house. We're
All right, so just they're in the province, so you can tell just by the street. Okay, you can tell by the houses. You can tell by everything. But that guy, the Polish guy, looks like he's got some serious problems. And for this man, uh, to take him into his house and look after him. And I want you to notice something as well. Not only just watch how what's his name? Edwin. He's always smiling. That's that's the biggest thing that you see in the Philippines is that no matter what your situation, no matter what you're doing, they're either singing or they're smiling. That's why I've got a tattoo of the Philippines on my arm. So every day I look at my tattoo and I go, be happy. But anyway, let's see what Edwin is doing for this
gonna
guy.
head in here. He's gonna give us a tour of this place, and we're just gonna talk. We're gonna talk about his life over the last 6 months, how he's been helping this Polish guy out. I'm gonna get more info, like the guy's name. I'm not even sure at this point, but let's walk in there and see what's up.
Yeah.
Very fine.
Good to see you. Hey everyone, this is Edwin.
Hello.
And your roommate's name.
Alright, can anyone have a guess how old this dude is? He's fit as fuck. Let's see how good you are at picking Filipinos. This guy's been working his whole life. I'm going to have a crack at about 65, maybe. Only because of his hair. But have a look at his hands. This dude's been working his whole life. It's not going to stop. But he does have glasses, just like me. Alright, he's got glasses. 65. I'm going to go 65. He only looks 40, but I'm going to go 65.
Your new friend. What's his name? So
Chris.
how old is he and how old are you? Just so we have it on video
I'm
here.
60 years old,
60?
already senior citizen.
But you look 50.
Thank you.
There's
He is my
40,
friend.
mate.
Good morning, sir. How are you? You're doing okay. Hanging in there. How do you like this guy? He's a good guy, eh? He's been a good friend for you. Okay, we're gonna do a little tour.
You can come inside.
I might actually use my other camera. Do you mind if I just do a tour? Just
Yeah, no problem.
All right, guys, we're just gonna walk through everything.
This is my store
How long have you lived here for, Edwin?
since 2015.
Okay, since 2015.
Yeah, but actually in 2004, I've been living here already in Valencia.
Okay,
But in this place, 2015.
and do you rent this place?
No.
This is your property.
Yep, I own this one.
Oh, good for you. Cool. Thank you, Edwin. All right, so cooking.
Alright, so this is a typical provincial house. Alright, so bricks, hollow blocks they're called here. In Australia we call them Besser bricks, but they're hollow blocks here. But yeah, this is pretty normal. But have a look at somebody who doesn't earn very much money. What do they have? And the most important thing is that they have soul. They have important things like a Westerner would look at that dish. Well, Westerners wouldn't even know what the fuck that was. That R2D2 thing there, that's where you put your dishes. Okay? But that's important. And that's worked. They work for that just so that they can go down to the Palenque and buy one of them. And that thing is older. That's about 15 years old. And it's still there because they look after it, because they worked for it, and they know what it means. The gas stove there, he's got the chalane. So he's got a couple of cookers there. He's got a gorilla. He's got his gas stove. That's a brand new one as well. So he's just bought that for 4,000. But down the bottom, he's also got his chalane barbecue. And that's a dog or a cat thing there. I don't know why that you would be keeping your cat or your dog there, but anyway, we'll keep going.
Happens right here. How is it for running water here? Sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes.
It will just happen if there's a typhoon.
If there's a typhoon,
Yeah,
no water. Yeah.
Now this is another thing that you see in the Philippines all the time. Filipinos like elections, and the reason why they like election is because they get all the paraphernalia. Alright? They don't care about who the mayor is or who the councillor is or who the president is. They don't care about that. What they do care is about picking up the paraphernalia, and they use it to build their house. I love this dude. He's cool. I'd be friends with this guy.
Is that your bedroom in there?
Bathroom?
No, bedroom.
Bedroom?
Your
The other place.
Oh, okay.
This
got
is
it.
the room of
Yeah.
my son, Carl.
Your son lives here. Oh, hey. Good morning. How are you? Doing a little tour. Cool. Nice. Hey, man, your son keeps a tidy room. Well done. So, did you build any of this, or you bought it as is, the way it is now?
I built this one.
You built all of this?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Step by step.
Yeah.
If I have money.
Yeah. I gotcha. You
If
piece
no-
it together as you go.
If
Yeah.
no money, no honey.
You're
So that's a very common phrase in the Philippines. No money, no honey. And it means that if you don't have any money, you can't have a wife, basically. Alright, I don't know this guy's past. They said that he's a single dad with 3 kids. Let's hope that it was a divorce, maybe. I don't know. Let's hope it wasn't something tragic.
laundry, everything you do out here.
Yep.
For people that don't know, like, province living, this is pretty typical, right? Like, this is pretty typical in the Philippines. Cooking.
Difficult.
What's that?
Too much difficult.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not what people are used to seeing from in the West, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you cook primarily with a gas stove, or do you ever do
Yeah.
a fire and cook over the fire?
Outside, if there's no available, what we call this one LPG,
Yeah.
I will cook outside there.
Okay. Because I know that's pretty common, right? Cooking over the fire.
Okay, so he just. This is another amazing thing about the Filipino people, that they can then. He can flip to things that we use, because LPG is not used in the Philippines, it's Chilean. So he understands. So this is a poor man, okay? A poor man speaking in a different language that understands that I want to make sure you know what I'm talking about. That's the Philippines.
All right. Well, we have a good idea. This is so you have another building as well where your bedroom is.
Here, outside.
Okay. Okay. Dishes are done right here, guys. So you did all the plumbing, everything, eh?
Yeah.
To run, yeah.
In
You just
carpenter,
figure out how to do it all.
masonry,
Yeah.
All around work. All around job. Here is my room. That is very.
That's where the music's coming from. Hey, your son's room is more tidy.
Yeah. But for me,
It's okay.
not been clean. Because
Yeah.
Too much busy I have.
You have so much going on. Well, and that's what we're going to get to in the story. You've been busy helping other people and not doing things for
Because
yourself.
I'm too much busy.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get into that.
I wonder what this guy's trabajo is. He's 60 years old, so he's got to be making some sort of living. I know he's got 3 kids. The son, he looked like he worked in Manila, came back home for a couple of days or something like that. So maybe he's got 3 kids. A big thing in the Philippines is that your kids look after your parents. So I don't know whether they're daughters or sons or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure that he's getting money sent back home to make sure that he can do this. It's amazing how they view life. But anyway, let's keep looking. And imagine yourself in this situation as a Western person living like this.
All right. I think that gives everyone a good idea.
And still being happy.
My neighbor.
He's got
Too much good house.
he's got
Too
solid
much good
concrete
house.
right next to you. And then another one with concrete. And you're just sandwiched in between.
Concrete also.
You're right in
Beside you.
between these two bigger homes, yeah. But you're making it work.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is the story we want to get into, is that despite all of this, despite the struggle, despite you trying to find ways to make your life better
Yes.
and do what you can and help your kids, you have
my
taken
number
in...
one priority is my 3 kids.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Because I'm already a single father.
You raised the kids mostly on your own, or for the last while?
Yeah.
Single father, making it happen, and despite everything you have going on and your
Yeah.
struggles,
Yeah.
you have taken in a gentleman from Poland who had nobody. He had nothing,
Yeah.
And
But I just want to help him.
this is where the story really begins, guys. What were your first thoughts when someone came to you and said, "Hey, can you help this guy out? He has nobody."
Very important also because I need money.
Yeah.
And then he's giving me some allowance.
How much are you getting to help?
Before 500 per day when he was in the rehabilitation.
Okay.
After 2.5 months, he was been released at the hospital in rehabilitation in Talay. He got no home to go. If I will not agree that he will come to my house.
If you hear in the background, there's karaoke going on. Again, just the Filipino way. In even a place like this, in the background, you got people singing, having a great time.
Where he will go? My boss give me 700
700
per day.
to take him in here.
Yeah. And then that 700, all included.
Yeah.
The food, the soap, because I'm the one who wash.
Yeah.
I'm the one who to change diaper, take him shower, and to clean him up.
What about getting clothes on, dressing?
I'm also the one.
He can't really do that either.
No.
And your plan is to actually go to Qatar, is that right?
Yeah.
And
I have already a schedule.
yeah.
First week of October.
So talk about that a little bit. What is your job in Qatar? What is this opportunity that came up?
I am working there since 2008 for 9 years, and then 2018 that my mother was operated from stage 2 breast cancer. I stopped going to Qatar because I'm the one who took good care of my mother when the 2 breasts was being removed.
Okay.
And then it's good now that I have to go because I have already 2 college.
Right, so this is a massive thing in the Philippines where even a 60-year-old man has to go work overseas. I think it's about 35% of the GDP of the Philippines is from outside of the Philippines. And it's a big family toll that most Filipino families have to deal with. So even in just my family, so my wife is Filipino, I could count easily on 58 hands how many cousins, aunties are working overseas. And it's hard. It's hard. So there's a big tradition in the Philippines called balikbayan, which is where people that work overseas send back gifts, pasalubong, food. So they have these big boxes that they send home, particularly at Christmas time, because Christmas starts 14 months before Christmas actually starts. But anyway, they call it the Burr months, which is when Christmas starts. Send home to your family, look after your family, and that's why a lot of foreigners love Filipinos.
3 days training due to the typhoon, but now
You're going to feel much better, Chris.
Alright, so any foreigners that are coming to the Philippines, this is very important. If you can't do it in your own country, why the hell do you think that you're going to do it in a different country? I don't care what country it is. If you can't do it in your own country, don't expect something to happen in a different country. Now, again, I don't know this guy's, well, I know his situation, but I don't know his past. He looks like someone who hasn't had a good life for probably 10 years. Except for this dude here, except for Kuya over here. But I think he's come to the Philippines, he's expected something to change, and it hasn't changed. And don't do it. If you want to move to the Philippines, you need to work. You need to have a woman, a partner, a family structure, just like you do in the country that you come from. If you can't run a business in your own country, don't think that you can run one here, because it's harder. Because you don't know the language, you don't know the red tape, you don't know anything that happens. So don't come here unless you're prepared, and don't come here unless you have the attitude that this is my country now. If you don't do those things, you will be a failure, and you might end up like this poor bastard here.
Get a little shower.
The money that I have is good only for the allowance to my 3 children going to school.
The money you get for taking care of Chris, you said it's 700. How much did you ever look at how much it's actually costing you to take care of Chris? Just the cost alone with everything he needs?
300 plus. For
So
him only.
a lot of your money that you get goes towards expenses to take care of Chris. Did you ask them if they would ever give you a bigger allowance to take care of him, or they said this is it?
My boss told me that that's the only money that he can afford to give me. But I don't know how much money that he is receiving from the cousin of this.
How
this
much?
company.
Oh.
I don't know.
So just to clarify, he's getting some money sent from a family member, and it's
First,
going
the
through
cousin.
a middleman, right? That's the person that
Yeah.
is hired you.
He's the middleman.
Yeah, tough situation with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Please stand up.
Chris, how you feeling? Feel better?
Hello.
Hello, Chris. Looking good, buddy. You're keeping him alive. Not just alive, you're keeping him happy.
Ah,
That's the main thing.
120%. If he saw me, he's happy.
Smile on his face. What's your name again?
Alan,
How old are you, Alan?
20 years old.
What course are you in?
Software engineering technology.
You just started. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay, so I'm an English teacher, and I speak to Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Filipino, everybody. Vietnamese, Thai. Did you just see how clean his English is? And to the point where I thought he's been somewhere. Let's just go back and listen to what he says. Alan. That's like, I've been listening to Filipino for a long time, but that's a clean Alan.
Face. What's your name again?
Alan,
How old are you?
It's this is the problem with Filipino English, is that you don't know. You don't know whether it's really good because they've been in another country, or just because it's really good. Whereas when I teach like a Japanese person, I know immediately if they've been to England. I know if they've been to America. I know if they've been to Australia. I can pick up. But this neutral accent that Filipinos have, and this is a dude, look where he is. And it's exactly the same all the way over the Philippines. You can have trike drivers, you can have jeepney drivers, you can have people on the street who have no education, and their English is flawless. But I have a little thing that he might have studied in Australia.
How old are you, Alan?
20 years old.
What course are you in?
Software engineering.
He just said 20. He didn't. Most Filipinos will say 20, but he said 20.
Technology.
You just started, eh? That's a great plan for a career. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. What can you say about your dad?
Mother, father figure.
What
Yeah.
did you think when he brought Chris back and decided he was going to take him in? What were your first thoughts? You can be honest.
Another kid to help.
Look after.
Were you okay with it, or was it a difficult thing for you guys?
50-50.
Yeah, that's normal. What do you think now about what your dad's doing to help him out?
Okay, as long as he's okay with it. Sometimes I am doing Chris's.
Alright, now I've changed my mind. Okay, so immediately I thought that he'd studied overseas, but I don't think he has now. I think he just has the good English from Filipino education. He's switching. This is another thing that Filipinos do constantly. They can switch. They switch from Tagalog to English effortlessly. Effortlessly. I can't even say it, but they do it. Effortless. Okay? They can move from Tagalog, and sometimes they do it from their own dialect. So you can have a situation in one sentence where they go from, I don't know, warai to Tagalog to English, all in a split second. But I don't think he studied overseas. I think he just has really good English.
Taking a bath, I pity him sometimes.
You have to help out too.
Yeah.
Do you think in the end it's good for you to learn about this kind of stuff and giving and helping? Do you think it's a good thing? It's hard to see it as a kid.
Yeah. You don't have. I mean, you don't see people like them.
That need this kind of help,
Yeah.
especially a foreigner, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to do it all over again, and if you had the chance to either stop him from coming here or allowing him to come here, what would you say right now?
I think I'd still say yes, because that's what he do.
No rice. He won't eat rice in the Philippines? You know, us foreigners, a
Oh, yeah,
lot of
I
us
know.
don't eat a lot of rice.
I know.
But rice is life in the Philippines.
Ah, Philippines?
Philippine power. So I've been here for 20 years. I don't eat rice. I love my bread, and it's a big issue. I've lost 10, 15 kilograms since I first arrived in the Philippines compared to what I am now. I'm at about 64 kilograms. I used to be 76. And that is a big deal. Now he's drinking 3-in-1. Alright, so he either likes it, but a guy from Poland drinking that coffee, oh, I think it's forced down his throat. I import all of my coffee because I love my coffee. So I get all my Belgian coffee from Australia, which sounds weird. But I just love the attitude of this guy. He's telling you the truth. And what a man. Marami salamat, kuya.
Even if there's no other solution, if you have rice, still your stomach will be full already with food.
How is the cooking that Edwin does? Delicious?
Yeah.
Very good?
Barjo de bread?
When you go off to work in a couple of weeks, what are you thinking will be the plan? The immediate plan for Chris? Where will he stay? Where will he live? Have you talked to anyone about this?
I don't know. That is what, as of now, I am confusing. I will go. What happened to this?
So the plan is that your boss is going to try and find someone else. That's where it's at right now.
I don't think so. If there's somebody who can manage to take good care of Chris, I don't know if
You haven't heard anything yet. Yeah.
I don't know if they agree the
Mm-hmm.
agreement about the salary
Yeah.
that you can do everything 24 hours.
This question is for people that maybe they don't do much for others, and a lot of people nowadays do everything for themselves,
Oh yes,
right?
just
Do you-
like a selfish people.
How would you describe what it does for you, giving so much rather than just focusing on yourself?
Because I'm believing in God that help for those who needs help. For God's words, those who are in need.
Help those that need help.
Yeah. Every day I tell them that if you will just give me a smile, I'm already very happy because you're happy. Even too much problem you have, just smile.
It's a good way to be, man. More people, especially from the West, we live in a society where often don't think like this. We sweat the small things. We struggle to be happy because we don't have certain material things. And meeting a guy like you and others just being in the Philippines that are struggling but are still smiling and still happy and grateful. Thanks, man. You're a great guy, Edwin. I'm glad I met you. Thanks for
Alright, so that is a real thing that when you first come to the Philippines, you're cynical. You think the world is shit. You think that your country is shit. And then you come here and you see people living in abject poverty and they're laughing. They're laughing. They're singing songs. There's karaoke going on constantly. People who live in cardboard boxes are laughing. Laughing. Everywhere you go on the street, they're laughing. It doesn't matter what the hell it is. They're laughing. And it doesn't matter how much you have, doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter what's going on in your life, Filipino people will make it amazing. If you haven't been around Filipino people, when a pizza arrives, you ain't experienced life. You ain't experienced life. Simple things like pizza or noodles or rice, the whole place erupts in laughter and fun and joy and everything. The worst singer in the world can sing a song and they clap you. That's the Philippines. This guy's really nailed it. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked my reaction. I have lots to say more about the Philippines, but we'll leave that for another video. But anyway, make sure you like and subscribe. Look after yourself. Look after your family. And we'll see you in the next video. Salada. Oh, I meant to say mabuhay.